everybody, welcome to the Four Honeybees Cottage. I'm Anne-Marie Biron, and today we're going to be talking about how to make our bows. So many times people come into the store and buy beautiful ribbon and ask me to make their bows. I promise you it is so easy and you can do it at home too. So today I'm going to show you my secret tricks. So this is the bow we're going to be making today. It's the perfect size for a wreath or a gift basket or even on your mantle. So many different places that you can put it. So that's the size that we're going to be making. So what my supplies are is, first of all, you'll need a wire that you'll be able to bend and nice and flexible, nice and thin. For this size bow, we're going to use an 8-inch board. So I just use a cardboard board, simple and easy. Also for this, we're going to be using our gorgeous Mackenzie Childs ribbon. What's special about this ribbon, and even if you're going to use your own ribbon, something that you're going to want to make sure, first of all, is that it's wired. It's really important that it's wired so that you can bend it and twist it the ways that you need it to be, and it stays looking perfect. Another 2.5 inches, 2 inches is about a great size for, maybe a 22-inch wreath. Larger bows, you can go into a 4-inch, just depending on what you want. As you increase your width for your ribbon, you're going to want your board to be just a little bit bigger. And lastly, a good sharp pair of scissors, because you're going to be cutting through an awful lot of ribbon. So you need to make sure that they're nice and sharp. All right, so let's get started. First thing I do is, this is how long? 10 yards. So this 10 yards, I can get 2 bows out of this. So what I do is I just completely unroll it. Then I find the middle. This way you know that your bows, if you need 2 of them that are going to be exactly the same, you'll have consistency through your bows. Perfect. Whoops! Alrighty, so now we're going to just cut that right in half. Don't worry about your cuts yet. You can always finalize that at the end. Alright, our next step is, this is the secret part. Most time people will loop it, and I don't do that. I just think it's way too hard, especially if you're making a ton of bows. So this is where your cardboard box comes in. Just something nice and thin so your bows can be flat in the end. You're going to want, this part will end up being the tail of your bow, this end part. So you want that to be however long you decide that you would want your tail to be. On here I probably did about an 18-inch tail. So it just depends on how long you would want that. Then you just start wrapping. Leave that part out and you just wrap it around. Super easy. This is how you get your loops. So it's important to kind of pull it snug so that it's not baggy or not loose. And that way you can get a nice tight center. I think, I'm not 100% sure, I think this is probably about 8 times around. I think with this bow I did about 8 times around, and that way you have a nice full 8-inch bow. Then, simple, slide it off. Make sure you keep them all tight. This is where your wire ribbon comes in handy, because then you can just smush it down, making sure it's nice and flat, and it'll make your life a little easier to cut. Next step, finding your middle of the bow. So I just simply fold it over, mark it with a little fold, and this is where your sharp scissors come in handy. Next step is, you're going to make 2 V's. Make sure that you don't cut all the way to the center. You want to leave a little gap in between. So let's make our 2 V's. This is my daily workout here, because it's awfully tough to cut through these ribbons, even with sharp scissors. It's thick, especially with a high quality ribbon like this ribbon happens to be. That's the first side. So you're being careful that you're not going to cut into the center. That's the trickiest part. If you do that, then your whole bow will fall apart. So it's important that you leave, I would say, one little check mark so that you know that you're not going to go all the way through. And then simple, other side, right across from that other V cut mark. Perfect. Now you have two little V's cut through. Our next step is we're going to take our wire, wrap it right tight through those two V marks that you just cut. This is, I just kind of lay it flat down because you kind of want this part to be nice and snug. I just give it a good twist. Maybe wrap it around a couple of times. And just twist it up. This is the secure part of your bow. So you want to make sure that you have it a flexible wire, but something that's not going to break. Now, depending on what you're putting this bow on, sometimes if you're going to tie it to a mantle, or if you're going to tie it to something where you wouldn't want the wire to be showing, this would be a good chance for you now to cut the wire, bend the ends in so it's not sharp against your hands, and take a prettier ribbon and wrap it through your bow. I usually, if I'm doing this for a customer, I usually do it this way because then they have the versatility as if they want to take the bow off of their wreath and maybe use it during the holiday time on a garland or whatnot. They don't have to worry about showing that ugly wire part. So then it just simply looks like this. Okay, next step is you're going to take one side, starting from the center, open up your loops. Starting from the interior, you're going to take one to the right, pulling it towards you so that all of your little V's come out. So it would look like this. Don't worry too much about what your loops look like yet. Next one, opposite side. Same thing. Pull it all the way down so you have another loop. Keep going through all of your loops. Now the important part is to try to twist that ribbon so that you get all of your ends folded up. That'll give you the most volume on your ribbon. And again, you don't have to worry too much about what your loops are looking like at this point. So then you have one side of your bow. You see it come into life. Now you do the exact same thing on the other side. Starting from your interior, open it up, and one side and then the other. It doesn't matter which side you start from, just make sure that you're alternating, going from one side to the next, and just make sure you pull both all the way tight so that your base of your bow isn't too thick. Pulling it up, alternating sides. Super quick, very easy. It might take you a couple times to get the hang of it, but once you get the hang of it, it will take you no time at all. And like I said, if you're cutting into ribbon that you happen to really particularly love, or that's a bit of an investment, maybe practice on something that you would, not mind if you make a mistake on. Now that you have both of your sides, now is the fun part, and you can kind of fluff it up, making it unique to you and how you want it to look. I have a tendency to try to put one center straight across, and then I like them to just go out from there. Now, depending on how many times you wrap it around, if this bow is maybe too thick for you, or you don't like it quite that full, Then just decrease the times that you wrap around your board. From there, I always do the finishing touch at the end of my streamers here at the bottom. So, simple and easy. I fold it in half, take my scissors, and cut a diagonal so that you get a nice V. And if you fold it, then you know you're always getting a perfect. Whoops, I did that one the wrong way. What a typical Anne-Marie. We don't have to tell anybody, just do it over. All right, perfect. So now you have your gorgeous bow ready for anything. This is a great size, like I said, for a beautiful wreath or a gift basket. And you have these nice long tails which you can tuck up into your wreath or just leave them hanging down. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Look at, I think this one, our Simon, needs to have a beautiful bow. So we're going to just tie this one right on here. There you go, just a little dressier. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.